It's really very concentrated in the sort of a glide slope, isn't
right,
it?
yes.
Yeah.
And
I think I very much subscribe to this principle of freeing my mind and the rest will follow. Because it's really only when we become liberated in sort of how we think about a problem that we seem to be execute things with flair.
Distinguished Professor Jerzy Rozenblit holds the Raymond J. Oglethorpe Chair in Electrical and Computer Engineering and is head of that department. He grew up in communist Poland, the son of two physicians.
As I was sort of progressing through my educational career, sort of very curious and keen about doing things outside of Poland. You know, part of it was, I would call it, you know, a mix of determination and desperation.
This is a guy who arrived in the United States with nothing but what was up here and less than 40 bucks in his pocket. No family, nobody here to greet him, you know, made his way through Detroit, living in some of the worst neighborhoods imaginable, living on pennies a day.
Rozenblit came to America to meet Bernie Ziegler, a pioneer in computer simulation. Ziegler quickly recognized the young man's talent and pulled him into his research circle.
If you look at his economy of movement, he's pretty smooth.
How could we make this instrument, number one, so it fits?
Dr. Alan Hamilton is a neurosurgeon in the UA College of Medicine. He and his colleagues were desperately in need of support for their project to help surgeons perfect their skills.
As you can see, hand-eye coordination.
Hamilton put out an informal call for help. Rozenblit showed up.
Suddenly one day he walks into my office and says, I understand you need some help. And I was really taken back because here's the head of electrical and computer engineering himself.
Yeah.
In about a week's time, Rozenblit put together a team of young researchers.
Sure enough, I walk in this room and around the conference table are all of these young, you know, genius computer engineers and PhDs and everything. And we're now on our third generation of this computer-assisted surgical trainer that electrical and computer engineering helped us develop.
Backward, right.
One could think of the tools that we're developing to be cognitive amplifiers. Think of a concept of a no-fly zone. So, you know, if you're about to introduce an instrument somewhere where you're not supposed to instrument, you would have some audio feedback or visual feedback.
The difference, and we
Jan,
can
you
see the
scored an
difference
A.
from.
In another arena entirely is the Asymmetric Threat Response and Analysis Project, or ATRAP. It collects data to analyze the behavior and customs of political and cultural groups.
So we take some very basic physics. It sounded like a fun project and challenging project because it's not the typical modeling and simulation style environment.
I work best with people who are self-starters, you know, like islands of ideas that coalesce over time. You know, it's a very holistic process. Are we going to lock it
My
down?
research interest right now is in information extraction.
Computer, cyber security stuff.
We're trying to find the best way to teach engineering at the secondary level.
So you've done it for both our campus and ASU?
Yes.
Thank God he has to sleep intermittently. I mean, sometimes from the emails, I'm looking at the hours they're coming from, and I'm wondering, you know, what is he, like a bat? Is he up at night, you know?
So if we look at this, a lot of people recommend I take up yoga. And, you know, I internalize it. I don't think I'm a type that sort of expresses this outwardly too much. I mean, you know, I clearly I hop on my bike or I jump in the pool almost daily to clear up my mind.
Another way he clears his mind is through street photography.
It's more kind of my connection to what surrounds me, you know, and as I said, in sort of capturing the moment, these aesthetic components really add quite a bit to my sense of well-being.
From a childhood under communism to a life of poverty in a tough American city, to the head of a major scientific endeavor at the University of Arizona, Jerzy Rozenblit has benefited from his life's journey, and he loves to help others succeed as well.
Well, it's been a humbling experience to live through both ends of the spectrum of what life is all about. And you also, because of who you are and the talents that you have, and perhaps the material privilege that you might enjoy due to various circumstances, you have the duty to, to share that.